everybody. Hi Jen Grail. Hi Captain Lee Fan. Driving home. P.S. My son typed this. So okay, thank you to your son. Hi. Hang on. A lot of stuff going on today. Everybody. Hi Jen Grail. Hi Captain Lee Fan. Driving home. There we go. I was double timing. Okay. A lot of flooding. Some unbelievable flooding in the New York City subways, something that I would be flipping out about. You see people trying to go downstairs in the subways, the water over waist high. Some people were trying to get into a trash bag and try to walk down the stairs in a trash bag. I can't even. I can't even believe how calm people were on the trains that were just taking videos out the window as the water was flooding in. Nobody was screaming, "We're gonna die, we're gonna die." No, that would be me. Praying to God, I'd be out of my mind. People calmly just filming out the windows. I can't even believe it. Yeah, it rained here very, very hard. In fact, there's flooding all over, but they're telling people to stay off the roads if possible. And as you can see there, and I'll show you some other photos of what's going on here. It's very, very bad flooding. They had to make some rescues in New Jersey, I know. Flash flooding. It's prompted a state of emergency. And let's see here. Serious flooding across New Jersey prompted the governor to declare a state of emergency on Monday night, saying, and I quote, Governor Phil Murphy said, "I am declaring a state of emergency, given the flash flooding and the high levels of rainfall in parts of the state. Governor advised residents stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel." That came after serious flooding was reported in parts of the state, including Plainfield, New Jersey, Watchung, where the floodwaters inundated the streets, including Route 22. Then New Providence, Garwood, Rahway. Radar indicates that more than 6 inches of rain fell in Union County and surrounding areas in a matter of hours, according to New York Metro Weather. Now let's see some photos. Ouchie. We're looking at one second, let me get some stuff here. Here's according to the New York Metro Weather. And now that's going to be way too big. There we go. You can see a serious situation was developing in Union County and some surrounding areas. Local law enforcement reported flash flooding. Radar shows rainfall totals exceeding 6 inches. And they give you a reminder to take those warnings seriously and never attempt to drive through floodwaters. You don't know how deep they are. There was a shelter in place that was issued across Somerset County. All residents told stay inside. The road conditions are only getting worse. They're deteriorating. Community members, including businesses, should continue to shelter in place. Road conditions are still unsafe, Watchung police said. New Jersey Transit said it was experiencing service disruptions due to the weather. Their transit train and their light rail services were experiencing service impacts system-wide due to the weather-related conditions. And the bus routes, they were subject to detours due to flooding. Roadways were closed due to flooding. Many different roadways from 35 northbound, 22 eastbound, 91 in both directions, I-78 eastbound. Okay, lots of closures. Water rescues were reported. There was a dramatic water rescue that happened in Scotch Plains. So this flooding came after several hours of heavy rain and the risk of additional precipitation overnight. A flash flood warning was in place in the following New Jersey counties through 9:45 p.m. Monday night: Middlesex, Morris, Somerset. Elsewhere in New Jersey, a flood watch remained in place until 2 a.m. on Tuesday. Rainy conditions will linger throughout the week. Showers, thunderstorms could continue in the area overnight on Tuesday. Slight chance of showers, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms later in the day. Wednesday could also bring another round of storms. Yeah, it doesn't look good regarding rain, guys. It looks like there is rain in the forecast. So let me get some other stuff here. Okay. This is whoopsie, what happened here? Hang on a sec. Oh, that's what I want. So this was the Hackensack Fire Department rescuing several motorists today. You can see how the floodwaters are. That was in Franklin Lakes on Route 208. And then there was a truck that this crashed into a concrete wall, fell into the water at the Delaware Bridge, and search and rescue was on the scene over that. That was, I think, yesterday. Delaware water gap drowning claims the life of a Pennsylvania kayaker. Let me see where that occurred. Gotta be so careful. Part of the Delaware was this. Delaware water gap. Let's see. Let's see. 54-year-old Pennsylvania man was pulled from the Delaware River on July 10th after his kayak capsized in the rapids. The man, whose identity is being withheld until the next of kin is notified, was paddling in an area of rapids about 2 miles downstream from the Bushkill access. The victim was from Blakesley, Pennsylvania. Park officials say the man was not wearing a personal flotation device when his kayak capsized, which sent him into the river. Cause of death, pending a medical examiner's determination. Spokesperson for the park said this is the 4th drowning death in the area of the river since 1971, and noted that none of the previous victims were wearing a personal flotation device. Paddlers on the river should always wear a properly fitted PFD, personal flotation device, when on the river, no matter their swimming ability. Okay, that's important because the tides can take you out, the river current, you never know what the conditions are. The river currents are tricky. What may appear to be calm water on the surface can mask a stronger current just a couple of feet below the surface. There's also sharp drop-offs near the shoreline, and in some areas there's large rocks just below the surface. Careful on those. Okay, let me go to back to our flooding situation. And the New York City subways, horrendous. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So this was the FDR Drive. I'm going to show you now. It's from the New York City Department of Transportation. And it was flooded. It forced drivers to slowly inch down the road. They say not to proceed in that, and then the next thing they're inching down the road there. Franklin D. Roosevelt East River Drive in Manhattan had inches of water reaching up to the car's tires shortly after 7 p.m., according to NYC Department of Transportation cameras. Bronx River Parkway was flooded to the point where people couldn't even see the road. Okay, so we've got the road was not even able to be seen. And let's see, I'm trying to get you the all right, so we have subways. There's a lot of if you're on X, formerly Twitter, and you put in New York City subway, you will see a lot of the videos there. Just terrible, scary, really, really scary stuff. This woman, I saw this woman going, I can't even believe it. There is a video of her going down. I don't even understand how, why didn't she just stay upstairs? If it's a matter of missing your train or something, I don't know. I would just go up to the street. I don't care, take an Uber or something. That is so scary. Whether I don't understand. But just, yeah, really scary stuff. I mean, that woman is completely soaked in that subway water. Just like terrible, terrible flooding. Imagine that. People were seeing that out their train windows. So one guy trying to go down in a garbage bag. Really just crazy stuff. And then you had airports, of course, the flights delayed, all kinds of stuff going on. So the messages, there's a state of emergency. The messages, stay off the roads. The messages, stay off the roads. There's the flash floods, and you never know. Okay, so let's move on now to the dentist that was having an affair, and he was poisoning his wife's smoothies, remember? We talked about this in depth. Well, this is heading to trial now. I will definitely be following this. We covered this case extensively when it broke. We even looked at, some of his advertisements that he had and all stuff that was going on. It ended up he was having the old affair. They are Mormon, if I'm remembering correctly, and living in Colorado. And let's see.
Amazon offers hourly employees free skills training.
I don't know why these pop-up ads come up all the time. Get out of here. Hold on a minute. So they're supposed to start jury selection. I believe it's tomorrow. Let me make sure of this. He was putting this poison that he was ordering in her protein shakes. And I believe they had like 6 children together. So Angela Craig is the wife's name. James Craig is the husband. And prosecutors say that James Craig caused all these ailments. His wife was going to the hospital. Remember that? She kept going to the hospital, didn't know what was going on. But he was causing it because he was poisoning her protein shakes and trying to make it look like she took her own life. He's on trial for murder and other charges. It was set to begin today with getting the questioning of the potential jurors. So let me see how that went and when we can expect opening statements. This happened March of 2023. Angela Craig was 43 years old. It was her 3rd trip to the hospital. That month, toxicology test determined she died of poisoning from cyanide and tetrahydrozoline. That's the ingredients found in over-the-counter eye drops. Couple was married 23 years and had 6 children. Of course, Craig is pleading not guilty to the charges, including first-degree murder, solicitation to commit murder, and solicitation to commit perjury. Now, if I remember correctly, he was involved with some orthodontist, I believe, from Texas. Can't believe that. And, carrying this on and then getting this stuff to kill his wife that he was ordering from his dental clinic, right? The 47-year-old dentist allegedly bought arsenic online around the time his wife began to experience symptoms like dizziness and headaches, and doctors could not find the cause. At the time he was arrested, he was trying to start a new life, and he had financial troubles. He appeared to be having an affair with a fellow dentist. Prosecutors say he had affairs with 2 other women, but they have not detailed the motive in his wife's death. Well, isn't that the motive in his wife's death? I don't know. Craig's attorneys have argued police were biased against him, claiming testing of his wife's shake containers did not turn up signs of poison. They've questioned the reliability of a jail inmate who said that Craig offered him $20,000 to kill the case's lead investigator, an alleged plot for which Craig is also on trial. To avoid being held accountable, prosecutors say Craig tried to fabricate evidence to make it appear that his wife took her own life. He tried to get another fellow inmate to plant fraudulent letters at Craig's home to make it look like his wife is suicidal. In the weeks before Craig had been set to stand trial in November, prosecutors said he also sent letters to the ex-wife of the inmate he allegedly tried to get to kill the investigator, offering her $20,000 for each person she could find to falsely testify that his wife planned to take her own life. Okay. When the jury selection was ready to begin in November, Harvey Steinberg asked to withdraw as counsel for the dentist, citing a rule allowing lawyers to step down if a client persists in actions considered criminal or that they disagree with. Another attorney for Craig, Robert Working, later argued that investigators did not look into whether Craig wrote the letters or check them against his handwriting. Working also said that the inmate and his ex-wife were prosecuted for forgery for their roles in an alleged fraud ring in 2005, suggesting they could not be trusted. Working withdrew from the case this month after being charged with arson of his own home. Oh my goodness. Leaving his wife and law partner Lisa Fine Moses to defend Craig. Working's attorney, David Beller, said he was getting mental health treatment and asked the public to show him some grace. Now let's just hear that again, okay? Working withdrew from the case due to the fact he was charged with arson of his own home, leaving his wife and law partner, so that's one person, Lisa Fine Moses, to defend Craig. So she's, okay, let's just understand this. Craig's attorney, Lisa Fine Moses, is dealing with her husband and law partner being charged with arson of his own home, and she's defending Craig, who's accused of poisoning his wife fatally poisoning his wife. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. Over the objections of the defense, prosecutors plan to show the video of the argument in the kitchen to jurors. Okay. Where his wife said, "It's your fault. They treated me like I was an S-risk, like I did it to myself, and like nothing I said could be believed," Angela Craig told her husband after the first trip to the hospital. Prosecutors convinced the judge jurors should see the video because they said it disproves potential claims that Angela poisoned herself, possibly while trying to dissuade him from divorcing her or to frame him and gain an advantage over him if they did divorce. Her mental state is anger and frustration, not taking her own life or desperation to keep the defendant in the marriage. One of Angela's siblings, Mark Prey, said last year that James Craig not only orchestrated the torment and demise of his sister, but had shown disregard for others, including their children. James Craig, according to prosecutors, searched online for answers to questions such as how to make murders look like a heart attack and is arsenic detectable in an autopsy. After Craig's initial attempts to kill his wife failed, prosecutors alleged that he ordered a rush shipment of potassium cyanide, supposedly for surgery. The shipment was accidentally discovered by an employee at his dental practice in the Denver suburb of Aurora, Colorado, on March 13, 2023. The employee reported it to the office manager 2 days later when Angela returned to the hospital for a third and final time. She died that time. Craig's business partner, Ryan Redfern, told a nurse treating Angela Craig that he was concerned she could have been poisoned with the cyanide. The nurse reported that to the police. They began their investigation the same day. So, yeah, let me see how far they are with their jury duty and when opening statements could be starting in that. Let's see. Okay, opening statements this week, but they're set for Tuesday. I believe so. Let me just make sure. Opening statements set for Tuesday. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so let me see if that is, hopefully it's streaming on YouTube, right? So that's opening tomorrow. Now, let me go. Hey, hi Jen Grill, hi Captain Lee. Oh, sorry about that. Don't mean that again. Yes, I just saw it was going to trial. Yeah, opening statements tomorrow. I think about the movie day after tomorrow. Oh, you're talking about the flooding? Yeah, hi Super Chat Cat. Linda's without electricity. Prayers for everybody going through stuff. And there's a lot of stuff. You're home now, Captain Lee. Okay, good. Have you covered the recent McDonald's? You mean the mother of 6 that was killed there? I don't think so, but I'm going to cover what I have, and then we'll see where we're going to go from there. We did the flooding, we did the dentist, we're going to do the Oklahoma farmer next, who was killed by a water buffalo that he purchased the day before. Hi, Mrs. McJagger, how are you? Okay, so here we go with the Oklahoma farmer killed by a water buffalo that he purchased the day before. Okay, so here's our farmer. Since 40s, I believe he was Brad McMichael. Let's see. He was fatally attacked by a pair of water buffaloes that he had just purchased. And the animals had kept emergency workers from reaching him. He was killed on Friday. He was attacked by 2 water buffaloes. He had bought them at a livestock auction just a day earlier. Bradley McMichael, 47 years old, was found in an animal enclosure at McMichael Farms in Jones, Oklahoma. That's northeast of Oklahoma City. He was found with multiple deep lacerations that proved to be fatal. Jennifer Green, who's 44, was McMichael's fiancée. And she said in an interview on Monday, she last talked with him by text at 11 a.m. on Friday, shortly after she left him, but could not reach him that evening and noticed his truck was still parked nearby. So she started to search the property and found him inside an enclosure with the buffaloes. Emergency workers responded to 911 calls about 8:30 p.m. and all they could see were McMichael's legs. The animals, which were euthanized, delayed emergency responders from helping Mr. McMichael, police said. We could not get through the gate to get to where McMichael was, describing how the water buffaloes had prevented help from getting to Mr. McMichael by pushing back against the gate and raising the gate up in the air with their horns. By the time the workers were able to make their way to him, he had succumbed to his injuries, and he was attacked by both animals. After they got to him, I think they realized it would not have made a difference, the fiancé said, of the delay in getting to Mr. McMichael. They were not able to tell until they got in there. McMichael Farms announced Mr. McMichael's death on Facebook on Sunday, noting that we lost Bradley on Friday in a tragic accident. Ms. Green described Mr. McMichael as an experienced farmer who had worked with livestock since he was a teen. The land where McMichael was raising livestock, including cattle, lambs, and lambs, had been in the family for 3 generations. Plans for the future of the farm are uncertain. Farming was Bradley's dream. He died doing something he loved, and he cared very much for his livestock. Now, They are not aware of any previous fatal water buffalo attacks in the area, and that multiple people in the area have had water buffalo. Wow. That's crazy, right? Next, we're going to go talk about another freak accident where a teenager, a 19-year-old, lost his life in a meat grinder at a food processing plant in California. Okay. So we have a facility here. So a 19-year-old sanitation worker got caught in a meat grinder because it suddenly turned on while he was cleaning it at a Tina's Burritos food processing plant in Vernon, California. He was cleaning the meat grinder. Somehow it activated. It sucked him inside at around 9:30 p.m. Oh my gosh. Other workers said they heard the teen shouting for help as they tried to turn off the machine, but they couldn't. Authorities rushed to the scene and found the 19-year-old dead inside the grinder. Oh my gosh. California Division of Occupational Safety and Health will investigate the worker's horrific death and try to figure out what could have suddenly triggered the meat grinder. Police do not suspect foul play. And said that there was a similar tragedy back in 2019 when a factory worker in Pennsylvania died after she was either dragged or fell into a meat grinder. A 35-year-old woman had been working on a 6-foot-high rolling ladder, and she somehow found her way into the machine, in all, it took police 45 minutes to break down the machine and extract her mangled body from it. And then another crazy fatality, right, was last week. A physical therapist was burned alive inside a hyperbaric chamber at his Arizona clinic when it suddenly burst into flames. Dr. Walter Foxcroft was inside the chamber, which is a sealed enclosure with a controllable oxygen level used by doctors to help their patients with cognitive and physical rehabilitation when it ignited. Terrible. So JFK and LaGuardia are among some of the airports that have delays in ground stops. And there was another thing I wanted to tell you about this guy that killed his girlfriend and her parents, and he took his own life in jail, waiting trial. But I also want to tell you about this girl right here. That is Brianna Moore, 19 years old. She allegedly suffocated her newborn baby in a dorm room bathroom, and then she put the child lifeless out in the trash. I don't understand these people do this. This is just so crazy. She was a Florida college student. She allegedly killed her baby in the dorm room bathroom, then threw the baby's body in the trash months after texting about her birth control preference being a Plan C, which she said, "I'm killing it." She allegedly suffocated her baby girl soon after she gave birth to her in April of last year. I don't understand how they go through the whole thing. They have the baby and oh my gosh, it's just crazy. She sent text 8 months earlier suggesting that taking the baby's life was her preferred method of birth control while discussing abortion and pills. According to newly released court records, she said, "Hey man, sometimes you need a Plan C." Texting an unidentified man who allegedly replied, "Plan A was condoms, Plan B was the pill, Plan C was to kill the kid." She said, "Plan C is my favorite." Her attorney, Jonah Dickstein, confirmed the texts were legitimate, but said that they're being taken out of context by prosecutors and were a part of a general discussion about birth control and abortion. The person she messaged was also not the father of her child, and she did not yet know she was pregnant. The teenager was arrested in her home state of Mississippi on October 18th, 2024, and she is set to face trial July 22nd. Okay, that's coming up too, on aggravated manslaughter and other charges. She claimed that she woke up in pain on April 27th of 2024, rushed to the bathroom after noticing her pants were wet, and then saw she had given birth. She said it wasn't moving, so I felt for her heartbeat, didn't feel one, she reportedly told police. Then she said she took a nap for more than an hour and woke up to find it was still not breathing. She told the campus police the blood was simply from her period. However, the baby, the dead baby, was found that next night in a trash bag wrapped in a bloody towel. Medical examiner found the baby died from asphyxia due to compression of the torso and rib fractures and had several broken ribs along her spine and a small hemorrhages in her lungs. Oh my gosh. During a pretrial examination, a forensic neuropsychologist suggested that Moore might have had a cryptic pregnancy where she either did not know or she was in denial that she was pregnant. She came to the University of Tampa in August of 2023 with a $30,000 scholarship she received due to excellent grades. She's now facing up to 30 years in prison if convicted on manslaughter charges. And here's a picture of her. Just in a college dorm room, right? Right. Oh boy. I don't know how they go all the way through with that and then they kill the baby. I don't get it. I do not get it. Do not get it. Okay. People would be standing in line to get that baby. To adopt that baby. You know? Cherish that baby. And she throws it in the trash. Okay. So you can't make sense of anything like that. Alright, let me go to the other thing. You might remember this guy. He was the son of a Hollywood executive, and he had Samuel Bond Haskell. We've talked about him. And he took his own life in jail. So I'll just kind of refresh your memory. You'll probably remember it if you've been here for a while. We talked about this one. Get his photo over there. There we go. So Samuel Haskell was charged with killing and dismembering his wife and in-laws. He was found dead in his jail cell on July 12th, following apparently taking his own life. He was 37 years old. Looks older than 37, doesn't he? The circumstances of his death were not immediately available, but sources added that he is the son of a former agent and former Miss America CEO Sam Haskell III, and that he left a note. He had been due to appear in court July 14th, today, for a hearing in his case. According to the inmate records, he pled not guilty to the charges. He was arrested in November of 2023 after a female torso was discovered in a plastic bag near a dumpster in Encino, California. Evidence led authorities to the home where he lived with his wife, May Lee Haskell, 37, and their 3 sons, as well as her parents, Gaoshan Lee and Yanayang Wang, 64. I just butchered that, I'm sorry. Days after his arrest, Samuel was charged with 3 counts of murder, constituted a maximum sentence of life without parole. Had he been convicted, he was being held with no bail. As for the couple's 3 children, they were found in the care of family members during the initial investigation, and later they were placed in custody with the Department of Children and Family Services. So look at that. He killed, they have no mother, father, maternal grandparents. Unbelievable, right? At the home, investigators found evidence of a crime and blood evidence inside. DNA testing later determined the torso belonged to his wife, May Lee. Her parents' remains were never recovered. Days after his arrest, Samuel was charged with 3 counts of murder, which constituted a maximum sentence of life without parole. Okay, yeah, terrible. Let's see here. Instead of standing before a judge and answering for the crimes he's been charged with, the defendant managed to escape justice. This is one last cruel act by someone who did the most horrific things for reasons we will never entirely know. A family that has been dealing with unimaginable loss now has been robbed of their chance to face him, hold him accountable for his barbaric actions, and openly share their grief and their cherished memories of their loved ones. Again, he is the son of Sam Haskell III, who was the worldwide head of television for William Morris and represented clients including Dolly Parton, George Clooney, and Prince Edward, before he retired 20 years ago. In 2023, Haskell had been living with his wife, their 3 young children, and her parents in Tarzana, California. Now, her body was found, the torso, because on November 8th, 2023, a person looking through a strip mall dumpster in Encino, California, 5 miles from the Haskells' house, discovered the torso. The body was so unrecognizable after being chopped into pieces that it took the Los Angeles coroner's office more than a month to make a positive identification. The case is among the most gruesome to hit the headlines in years, yet the Los Angeles police almost missed it because a group of day laborers who first found evidence of the murders on the 7th of November spoke only Spanish and were not taken seriously when they reported their findings. Haskell had hired and paid the men $500 to take away heavy black plastic trash bags from his home in Tarzana. After opening the bag to find human body parts, the workers returned the bags and the money to Haskell, and they alerted the police. The same afternoon, Haskell was seen on video disposing of a black garbage bag at the Encino strip mall. And the bodies of the parents have never been found. An uncle of May's said that she had come to the United States from China to study accounting and met her future husband. They were both students at Cal State Northridge. After the first of their 3 children were born in 2010, Mai's parents emigrated from China and moved in with them. Mai worked several jobs and was the main breadwinner in the household. It's not clear what work, if any, Haskell did, or whether he ever even supported his family financially. His lawyer said, ultimately, my client was even willing to take his own life, believing that it would end this terrible chaos. The Haskell family grieves every single life lost in this case. Okay, so that is that, and you wanted me to look into the McDonald's murder, right? Okay, so, hi, Sassy Darcy. Hi, Lil Lady. Sneaking in here while I'm okay. All right. Let me get that for you, Super Chat Cat. The police couldn't get interpreters. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy, right? I put up a post also. Jones Joy has a GoFundMe. They're redoing their grotto for the 50th anniversary. They're doing a garden. So if you want to check that out, even share it, that'd be great. Donate. Wonderful way to help. Okay, now let me go and get the McDonald's, okay? McDonald's. I know she was a mother of 6, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's say this. Then I'll go over, come on. There we go. All right. So this happened in East Point, Michigan. There's a fundraiser that's been started to help support 6 kids after their mother was killed in an East Point, Michigan McDonald's stabbing. The GoFundMe will benefit the children of 39-year-old Jennifer Harris. She was allegedly stabbed to death by 26-year-old Afeni Badu Muhammad at the McDonald's at 17921 9 Mile Road in East Point. Okay, and here's what the GoFundMe says. It says that Jennifer Harris Legacy Fund has been established to honor the life, values, and unwavering love of Jennifer Harris, a devoted mother, friend, and community member. The trust has been created with a singular, heartfelt purpose to provide ongoing support for the 6 children she cherished above all else. Through this fund, Jennifer's legacy of strength, compassion, and dedication will continue to guide and uplift her children, Resources from the trust will be used to support the educational journeys from early learning through higher education, as well as their overall well-being and personal development as they grow into adulthood. The Jennifer Harris Legacy Fund is a reflection of her lifelong commitment to family, opportunity, and the belief in a bright future. It ensures that her children are surrounded by the care, guidance, and support they need to thrive, and that her spirit will continue to shape their lives for years to come. Okay, now the stabbing happened shortly before 8 a.m. on Thursday, July 10th, at that McDonald's where I mentioned in East Point. Officers were dispatched after receiving a report about a stabbing and a shot being fired. When they arrived, they discovered that a manager, Harris, and another employee, Muhammad, had been involved in an argument which resulted in Harris sending Muhammad home early. She told authorities that after she was sent home, she drove to a park before deciding to go back and stab Harris with a knife she had inside her vehicle. The knife was allegedly a kitchen knife that was longer than 3 inches. Muhammad admitted to detectives that she had intended to kill Harris. When she returned to the McDonald's, she entered through the back entrance with a hooded mask over her face in an attempt to conceal her identity. She allegedly stabbed her manager multiple times, as many as 15 times. Wow. Okay. The assistant prosecutor, Hengeveld, said, she, and quote now, she, quotes, she produced a weapon that was a knife longer than 3 inches, and she stabbed the victim multiple times, up to possibly as many as 15 times, eventually causing her death. A customer who was in the drive-thru line intervened and fired a shot to try to stop the attack. Customer then held the suspect at gunpoint until the officers arrived, when she tried to flee. No one was struck by the bullet. He had her sitting down there in the parking lot next to a vehicle, and he had the gun pointed at her, said another employee who was working when the stabbing happened. And then that's when the police rolled up. Muhammad was taken into custody. Harris was taken to a local hospital, and she died from her injuries there. During the arraignment, assistant prosecutor said that Muhammad is connected to a previous stabbing. Defendant does have a prior instance of at least one that I'm aware of that involved a stabbing, similar obviously to the stabbing that occurred in this case involving a knife. She virtually appeared before the 38th District Judge, Kathleen G. Galen, for her arraignment at 1 p.m. on July 11th. She was arraigned on the charges of first-degree murder, carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent, and being a habitual offender, second offense. She had a bond set at $25 million. And if she posts that bond and is released, she must wear a steel cuff GPS tether. She can't leave the state of Michigan. She must report a change of address within 24 hours. 24 hours. She must have stringent daily contact with community corrections about her whereabouts. She must undergo alcohol and drug testing. She can't have any contact with family of the victim or witnesses, and she can't return to that McDonald's location. She is expected to appear in court again for a probable cause conference on July 23rd and a preliminary examination on July 30th. Now, her children describe Harris as selfless, a hard worker, one that aimed to provide for the 6 children as a single mom. Let's see. Antonia Griffin, Harris's daughter, said, and I quote, "She was the best mom anybody could ever ask for. My mama, she woke up every day and went to work for us. My mama died trying to take care of us." So she worked as the manager at that East Point McDonald's for several years, and the children said they had even met the coworker that's accused of killing their mother. They're now in shock at how senseless violence could have ended their mother's life. She's a hardworking woman, so kind. Her daughter said if anyone needed help, she would give you her last, give you the shirt off her back. She did not deserve this at all. Okay. And yeah. Crazy. It's just such senseless violence, Crazy. All right, so there you are, Super Chat Cat. Did that. You've got that. And now we move on. Talk about, there was a Florida plane crash. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was a small plane. It just went flying like into this tree. They are finding more and more bodies in these floods from Texas. I just keep seeing that. But here is something before we go on. We're going to talk about this. Okay. A marketing professor at the University of California, Berkeley, was murdered in cold blood while visiting his children in Greece, according to his family. I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce his name. But his last name is Jeziorsky. 43-year-old associate marketing professor at UC Berkeley Haas School of Business was allegedly shot and killed in Athens on July 4th, near the home where his two children, Zoe and Angelo, live, his younger brother, Lukasix, and said in a statement, the children, 10-year-old twins, live with the victim's ex-wife and the professor's close friend. His brother said, there have not been any arrests in relation to the incident. I never thought something like this would happen to my family, Lukasik said. And he told ABC News that his brother's death and the circumstances surrounding it are impossible to accept. He was allegedly in Greece to attend a court hearing related to an ongoing division of property and a custody battle. His brother said he wanted to bring his children to his hometown in Poland, as he did every year, and he also planned a trip to Disneyland Paris. He fought for them until the end. Okay, and then let me just get this here. I want to make sure we have this. Okay, so this close friend that lives with the children too, last name Mungo, it said that Mungo, who had known, we're going to call him PJ, thank you, PJ, for the past 5 years, said she was in touch with him while he was in Greece. She said he had arrived there with the expectation he would be able to take his children to Poland for a month, which was granted by prior court arrangements, but when he got there, there was a new dispute, and that had to be attended to in the courts. In the courts or somewhere else, huh? I don't know. Very sad. Earthquake hit southeast Spain with tremors felt in 50 towns. And I heard there was an earthquake also in Panama. Let's see what else we have. Oh, yeah, this was a very sad happening. Let's talk about this. Massachusetts, you probably heard about it. Maybe you didn't, maybe you did. There were 9 people killed after a fire tore through a U.S. care home. 30 more injured. It was an assisted living facility. And the firefighters rushed to Gabriel House in Fall River, Massachusetts. It was shortly before 10 p.m. on Sunday. Several residents were trapped inside the burning building till the fire was put out on Monday morning, allowing the firefighters and the police officers to get inside and rescue several people. In horrifying scenes, residents were hanging out the windows looking to be rescued. That's according to Chief Jeffrey Bacon. While police officers tried to break windows and help them out, a spokesperson for Fall River Police Department said without hesitation, officers entered the smoke-filled facility where they broke down doors and escorted residents to safety. Approximately a dozen non-ambulatory residents were physically carried out by their officers. The bravery and quick action undoubtedly saved many lives. The house has about 70 occupants, and at least 30 of them were injured in the blaze. About 50 firefighters, 30 of whom were off duty, were there trying to help. And 5 firefighters also suffered injuries during the rescue operation. Leo Johnson, 45, rushed over to find his 68-year-old mother, who lives on the top floor of Gabriel House. He said, "I was kind of freaking out because she wasn't one of the ones outside, but eventually found his mother outside soaking wet because the sprinklers were on." And then another person, Joe Alves, who lives close by, was watching TV when he heard the wave of sirens and the fire crews. He said he saw officials pulling bodies and injured pets out of the building, with some pouring water bottles on burns as they desperately tried to help those in need. There were people in wheelchairs, a lot of them missing limbs. It was terrible. The cause of the fire under investigation. Okay, now severe weather is heading for 4 U.S. states tomorrow. What do you think they are? I'll tell you. How about that? Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota. Severe weather is heading for 4 major U.S. states. Heading into Tuesday, July 15th, National Weather Service is warning 4 U.S. states about potentially dangerous storms heading into Tuesday. Major storms including damaging winds, tornadoes, large hail, all possible heading into Tuesday. So they say stay weather ready, continue to listen to local news or NOAA weather radio. At your house, go to your secure location if you have a severe thunderstorm warning, damaging wind, or large hail may be approaching. Take your pets with you if time allows. If you're at a workplace or school, stay away from the windows. If you're in a severe thunderstorm warning and damaging winds or large hails approaching, do not go to large open rooms such as cafeterias, gymnasiums, or auditoriums. If you're outside, go inside. Go into a sturdy building immediately if severe thunderstorms are approaching. Sheds and storage facilities are not safe. Taking shelter under a tree can be deadly. The tree may fall on you. Standing under a tree will also put you at a greater risk of getting struck by lightning. If you're in your vehicle, being in a vehicle during a severe thunderstorm is safer than being outside. However, drive to the closest secure shelter if there is sufficient time. Stay safe, people. See here. The tornado activity shifts to historically safe regions. Meteorologists warn, heat dome, cripple forecast as extreme weather rises. Pennsylvania flooding and mudslides lead to the evacuation of an entire town. This is scary stuff, huh? It really sounds like we're in some kind of times, doesn't it? Central Pennsylvania town of Glen Mar was forced to evacuate in the dark of night early Monday after major flash flooding and multiple mudslides impacted the area. The town in Lycoming County sits right along Muncie Creek, where the water rose 10 feet in 3 to 4 hours. More rain is expected in the region. The Weather Prediction Center has issued a slight risk of excessive rainfall for central Pennsylvania, with a greater risk of excessive rainfall for eastern Pennsylvania, as well as parts of the I-95 corridor. Crazy weather. I'm coming to see you in the chat. Okay. Horrible. Yeah, right? My goodness. So, wow, a lot of stuff going on there. Now let's see. Okay. I wanted to talk about why I told you a little bit last night about Ethan Chapin's parents and where they stand on trials, hearings, all of that. So they're speaking out a little more, and they sat down with the Today Show and they discussed the first time they came face to face with their son's killer. So they discussed why they support the plea deal, and they said that they finally have closure now that Bryan Kohberger will be spending the rest of his life in prison without the ability to appeal. The verdict, or the sentence, he is given by the judge at his hearing on July 23rd. When they recalled the moment they learned about the deal, Jim said, "If I could have physically done a handstand at that time, I would probably do one because I am so ready for it to be done." Now, their son Ethan was likely not one of Bryan Kohberger's intended victims when Bryan entered the Moscow home where Ethan was staying with his girlfriend Xana Kernodle in the early morning hours of November 13th of 2022. The prosecutors believe, however, that a chance encounter between Kernodle and the killer, Bryan Kohberger, led Kohberger to murder her and then her sleeping boyfriend. The couple admitted that their initial response when this happened was they wanted an eye for an eye, but then their feelings began to shift over time as they spoke with prosecutors and watched the case play out. They now are both convinced the state and Kohberger reached a better deal, not only for them, but mostly for their triplet son and daughter who are surviving without their triplet brother. And Stacy, Ethan's mother, said, and I quote, "There were so many kids, including our own, that had been subpoenaed that no longer have this hanging over their heads. I mean, we just all get to go out. We just all get to go live our life." They also spoke about coming face to face with Kohberger for the first time during the plea hearing on July 2nd. See, now in the documentary, she said she was not going to attend anything. So that documentary was filmed, I believe it was around December, so prior to the plea. So the couple also spoke about coming face to face. Stacy said Kohberger sounded cold and calculated, almost like an automated phone message. You expected some remorse, emotion, something, and there were just zero. Then came the moment when Kohberger was asked by the judge, "Did you kill and murder Ethan Chapin?" Stacy held back tears, but maintained her composure while recalling how it felt to be sitting just a few feet away as her son's killer confessed to his murder. And she said, and I quote, "When they have to read through the charges, it was like, oh, here we go. I had to take a little... That one was tough. That's a tough listen." Parents say their surviving children are now dedicated to honoring the amazing person they lost. Each member of the family has a tattoo to remember Ethan, and a charity set up by his parents has already handed out more than $100,000 in scholarship money to 90 students. Okay, and then they were asked if they wanted to address family members of other victims who were very public and vocal in denouncing the decision to strike a deal. And Stacy said, "Everyone's entitled to grieve and feel how they want. Yeah, that's just not how we feel." Jim then added, "He's going to get what's coming to him. I really don't care what happens to the guy. He's off the streets. He can't hurt any more kids. And that's the most important. That's the most important thing." As for their own child, the Chapins say they speak to Ethan every day when they wake up. "I have him where I need him," Stacy said, "in my mind and my heart and my soul." Okay. Okay, let me take a look at where you guys are here. Right there. Okay. So, thinking it's early, huh, isn't it? I have a special request. Please keep Bucky Ann in your prayers. I'm not going to say anything about anything, but please keep her in your prayers, okay? Certainly needs them. Okay? And let's see what else we have going on. I don't know if Bucky Ann is, I know she might be still in the Zoom. I don't know if she's still here. Maybe I should just log on to the Zoom. When did I start that Zoom? When did I start that Zoom? I have to start a new Zoom anyway because that Zoom is going to end. Just thinking about that Zoom was started a long time ago. Okay, a very long time ago. And please try to hit the thumbs up. That would be great. If you could do that, wonderful. And thank you, Captain Lee. All right, what else do we have? What did I try to watch some Oklahoma bombing documentary that was on? And let me see. Jimmy and I took a walk in the rain. We didn't have any thunder or lightning, and it was drizzling ever so slightly. It didn't even feel like anything, and we wanted to go for a walk, so we went for a walk in the rain. And what else did I do? I did some sewing today. Sandy was on Zoom, Bucky, Linda, who else? Linda, Debbie D, L. Yeah, so Sandy did some crafting. I did a little bit of sewing. I took my sewing machine apart like I told you I needed to get something from behind the bobbin base. That went well. Jimmy helped me with that. And I wanted to go swimming, but it was just too iffy and a lot of like really bad thunderstorms and stuff coming through Pennsylvania, so didn't want to chance that, especially with the lightning being like crazy, right? So we didn't do that. Is it still, there's high 61, high 61. Is it still raining? It was raining on and off all day. Not, at times it was raining very hard. A couple of times there was some thunder, not so much, but not a lot of it, just a little bit. And now I think it's finally stopped. But we'll see. I don't know. We have rain in the forecast. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. But trying to think. How about what did I rip out over here? I just put this here and I had this. Oh my goodness. Okay. What else do you want to do? You had a few sewing projects, but your machine's been acting up. Yeah, mine was too. And then Sandy told me to put the tension up a little higher. I cleaned out the thread. Had a little thread build up behind the bobbin case. And I've been just working on some quilting. Just little quilting. Quilt as you go, little squares like coaster size. But I think I'm going to try something else tomorrow. I think I'm going to try a pattern project because I got a bunch of patterns in Edisto, and I may try something else beyond just the quilting to get a little break from it, right? Anyway, think about what else. Let's look at something else. Let's just go in a totally different direction. Hang on one second. Hold on a minute. I'm cleaning up that. Let me just clean up this. You might have to see if your machine is dirty too. Yeah. And needs to be oiled maybe. Got to oil my whole machine. I'm gonna replace the drip pan too on the bottom. The felt on the. I just bought a new felt, before. All right, let's see. Huh. And I'm trying to find something. Okay. How about quick look at this. Okay, hang on a minute. We're going to do something we haven't done in, I don't know, several weeks. Probably guessed it. We're going to go to North Carolina for the first home. Okay, and I'll tell you a little bit about this house, okay? This is an exceptional opportunity to own a home rich in history. It's nestled in downtown Yadkinville. It's a spacious property. It spans over 5,500 square feet. It has an exceptional location to the interstate and make a wonderful bed and breakfast. It was built for entertaining inside and out. It features 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, a 2-car garage, and a very impressive main level great room. It has handcrafted cabinetry and an outstanding bar. The kitchen has a generous workspace, an abundance of cabinetry, pantry, and a cozy fireplace. Formal dining room has gleaming hardwood floors and a fireplace. 2 sets of stairways lead to the upper level, but gracefully separate the newer section from the original home. There's a spacious primary bedroom with a large ensuite that has a gorgeous new tile shower with dual shower heads and complete with Bluetooth speaker. The upper level not only has a den, but it also has a second great room with a stone fireplace and access to a balcony. Outside, they have a wraparound porch, a gazebo, brick paver patio that leads to an amazing in-ground pool. It's nestled on 0.64 acres. The backyard pool area is fully fenced and very private. It has updates that were completed in 2022, including new HVAC units, an Ecobee thermostat, a new roof, new windows, new pool liner, filter, a vapor barrier, and insulation. The inside of the home has fresh paint. There's local wineries, great restaurants, Boone, North Carolina, Mayberry, Mount Airy, North Carolina. That's where Vicky and I were. And the Blue Ridge Parkway are just a few attractions that will not require a lot of drive time from this property, built in 1940. Let's look. It's a folk Victorian style. And you can try to guess how much you think this is. Okay. Wow, High 61 is already putting in some a price. Okay. That looks like the kitchen from, well, I don't remember what the cabinets are like in Home Alone, but those tiles on the, I think theirs were green, right? Just reminds me of the Home Alone kitchen. So they have an oven here, which is like a wall oven there. A bunch of pots and stuff back there. Looks like this was taken around Christmas time with the Joy. Wow, they're doing a lot of baking. This is their butler pantry. Let's see what they mean about the built-in cabinetry. There's their bar, popcorn machine. Hardwood floors are very nice condition. That must be the upstairs great room. Fireplace. Look at all that storage area in the bathroom. That tub is interesting, isn't it? It's really sunk in there, isn't it? That's interesting. That is very interesting. And there's even storage. How do they have storage over here by the window? Is that just what do they have in there? They have it. It's in to be built out. That's interesting. And there's this shower. Guess what the dual heads. Another bathroom. Laundry room. Same. Garage. Porch. Okay, how much do you guys think that is? I see High is already put in. Let's see. Funky, High 61 says it's funky. Inside is dated. Okay, house price game, yeah. Hi, it's Bank. So this is North Carolina, it's Bank. Did you see it? It's a big house. They say it could be a bed and breakfast. It's in North Carolina. It's by where we went in Mayberry. It's right where we were in Mayberry. It's got multiple fireplaces. It's got a butler's pantry, kitchen there. In-ground pool. How much do you think it is? I have a price of $8.99. Oh, did you take that back, Hi? Okay, let's see. Can somebody please inside? Okay, Hi. Can you put a price though, please? Just put a price down and then we'll talk about it. So we've got things we've got to talk about. Huh. $800K. High murder pros. I don't like the sunken bath. $200K. Anybody else? Bink, do you want to enter a number? Would you like to enter a number, Bink? A number. Enter a number. You can enter a number. We can enter a number. Hold on a minute. I've got to do something here. Oh, shush. That's not. Wait a second, guys. I'm trying to do something. What the? What is going on? Okay, never mind. You could see yourself falling in. You did put a price in? I didn't see your price at all. Okay. Well, that's the price. $589.9. Oh, there's Batman with 600. Okay. You could see yourself falling in. Oh boy. $589.9. How'd you like that? What would you think that's good, Binky? Let me know. Oh, you said 900? Well, it was almost... Captain Lee, oh, there's just me. I didn't have, oh, you know what? It's just me. I'm in freaking top chat. I can't see all the chats. No wonder I didn't see you. Hi, it's just me. You were only 10,000 over. Well, that sounds good. You want to do another one? Do you want to do another one? But Mayberry and me don't have good luck. Well, I don't know. We never really made it there, right? We never really made it there. We were just driving around. You said it was ice and snow in May. That was funny. That was funny. Okay, let me go get another house. Let me go get another house to look at. Do, 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 do. Do I want to? Where's this? Okay, let's check this. Sorry. Okay, let me get the address of this next one. This one is going to be in Liberty, North Carolina. Just what's happening. Just what it's bringing me. I'm going to get something for you. Hold on. Right here. I think you guys might like this one. Okay. There. And I'll tell you a tiny bit about it. Step back in time and experience the unique charm of this Victorian beauty. It's preserved with so much of the original character. It has a clawfoot tub that's refurbished, the pie safe in the laundry room, unique items like 4 mantles in the downstairs fireplaces, intricate woodwork along with hardwood floors, stained glass in the keeping room, steel roof, added improvements, new HVAC downstairs. Entire home has surround sound. Each room in the home has its own control panel. It has a tankless water heater, all 7 operating natural gas fireplaces. So many opportunities here, from hosting events, extra parking is available, to Airbnb potential, and it's only minutes to the Toyota Mega Site, whatever that is. I guess a big concert and sports arena, maybe? Additional plus to builders and investors, a land parcel is large enough to split off for additional homes. Okay, it was built in 1900. Let's see. It's got a 2.7 acre lot. So let's take a look what this is like. All right. Now, got that. Look at the woodwork up there on the arch. Did you see that? The door looks like an orange yellow, doesn't it? Very cozy interior, very cozy with that colored door like that, the stained glass there. Look at this. It's very cozy. Here they have a little wet bar, fireplace. More of that stained glass over there. Stained glass in those windows. Look at that. Here's where you can practice the piano with the stained glass. Behind you have it built in. Put lots of stuff in those built-ins. Okay, now what is this? Is this I think this is like a little kitchen on one of the other floors. That doesn't seem like that could be the main kitchen. It looks like there's a butler's pantry there. There's the clawfoot tub. Steps need a little bit of refinishing. Floors could use a little bit of a, but these are okay. Shutters on the windows. Look, a big walk-in closet with a window. Okay. That's an updated bathroom. Okay. Outside, a little shed, walkway. Little arbor, you could put a fire pit there. And then you can split off land and put other houses on it. So, how much do you think that house is? There you go. Let me get the price. Okay. Here we go. So Murder of Crows says 400,000, and High 61 says 600,000, and who else? Vink, are you going to put a guess in? It's Just Me, are you going to put a guess in? Captain Lee Fan, are you going to put a guess in? Let's see. Vink says 400K. And It's Just Me. Captain Lee. That rhymes. Captain Lee or It's Just Me. Okay, you don't really like their choice of colors. Okay, It's Just Paint. 450 from It's Just Me. Well, yeah, you've all underbid. It's 650. Sorry to tell you. You've all guessed wrong. You get nothing. Nothing. Okay, sorry. All right, let's see what else we have here. You get nothing. Nothing. Would you like to go to Virginia? Would you like to go to Virginia? Well, that's where we're going. Would you like to go to Virginia? Come on, get over there now. Go on. Okay, we're going to go to Virginia and tell you a little bit. This is a perfect blend of Southern history and beauty. In an 1830 antebellum home featuring heart pine floors, 10-foot ceilings, custom millwork, ornate fireplaces, transom windows, and much more. The first level has an event-sized dining room, living room, gas log fireplace, a casual breakfast room, a kitchen, a study, spacious full bath, and sunroom with panoramic views. Second level has 2 impressive-sized bedrooms with a wood-burning fireplace and large full bath, a screened-in porch, and an expansive deck. While surrounded by this massive 104-acre estate. Okay, listen to me now. This is on 104 acres. It also includes a 3+ acre stocked pond, has a pavilion with a pier, a screened-in area, and an inviting sun deck. There's a summer kitchen that predates the home. It offers a living area, a loft, and a full bath. Another outbuilding is ideal for your equipment, and the attached 2-car garage has room for extra storage, rolling hills, woods, paved driveway, lined with crepe myrtles, Anderson replacement windows, and a full home generator. See, you wouldn't be without electricity, Linda, if you lived here. Are all bonuses included with this property. Come be the next chapter of this rich home's history. So let's take a look. 104 acres, guys. Okay, let's look here. It's got a pond, stocked pond. It has a pier, boat launch there. Let's see. I want to get to where I can see you guys. Rolling their hay, rolling hay, rolling. So they're rolling hay. 104 acres. Very nice inside. Look at those nice floors, nice white paint. It's like damask, beautiful wall covering. Very shabby chic. Has blue delft tiles around the fireplace. Another piano. Da 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 da. Country kitchen. Area. I'd have to, the bare minimum, take care of the bathroom countertop of that color, take out the carpeting. This is probably from the 80s. This Kohler, I bet you this is a Kohler toilet. I probably could tell you that's like a plum color. That would have to be redone. All right, let's see. This is a nice sunroom, very nice sunroom. Nice big high windows. Very nice. Like to see a little water on this plant. I think it would be doing better. That's a nice chandelier there. Very nice, blue and white. Out to the front. Up the stairs, how they have the pictures done. Very nice. I like to see how people do this. Going up. Here you have a little study space. You can look at this little picture when you're doing work inside the trunk. Who knows what's in there? Canopy bed, fireplace, some woman, girl over there. Little Mo, or no. Remember Little Mo, that movie? And it was a real tennis player. That was when they did the tearjerker stuff. Well, look at the cat that has the toilet brush in it. And looks like somebody drew these birds. That's a very nice bathroom, a nice little boudoir chair, slipper chair to take your shoes off. Nice shower, that's updated. Okay, here you've got his and hers, and a little Ethan Allen rocking chair. Hitchcock rocking chair. Here's the garage and the extra storage space. There's the outside. Oh, look at this, is the other little guest house on the property. Has a little fireplace, a bathroom for your guests to stay. And rhododendrons, a stocked pond, all of that 104 acres, rolling hayfields. You can make money haying or letting somebody hay your field. This is what they're probably doing there. Okay, so how much for that 104 acre estate? $950K, says Murder of Crows. $104 guys. 104 acres in Nottoway County, Virginia. Murder of Crows with 950. I don't see It's Bink putting her guess in. I don't see It's Just Me. I don't see okay, Murder of Crows High 61 has 700K. Bink, come on. Put your guess in here. 1.5 million for Bink. It's Just Me. Where did you go? Hi, Mrs. Mick Jagger. Needs a lot of updating, Mrs. Mick Jagger says. Do you want to venture take a little guess at it, or do you just want to tell us? Well, I'm going to tell you one. Here, let's see. It's Just Me says, Murder, I was thinking exactly the same, 950. Probably because more of the acres. Okay, here you go. It's $899. $899. $899. $899. $899. $899. Okay, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just want to relish every moment. Okay. Let me see here. Do you want to see a do you want to see Okay, I'm going to give you a choice. Would you like to see a cape from 1890 on 10 acres of woods in Vermont? Or would you like to see a camp that the former owner, James Bond, author of a wonderful book called Native Birds of Mount Desert Island, owned in Tremont, Maine? So do you want to see the Cape on 10 acres in Vermont, or do you want to see the Bond Camp in Tremont, Maine, that was built in 1950? What would you like to see? Put Maine or Vermont? The camp. Nobody wants to move to California, Bink. Sorry. Okay, we're going to look at the camp because Hi's the only one that decided to answer. So Hi. Oh, now, oh, no, sorry. I've already got the Cape. I've already got the camp, but we'll see. We'll see if we'll look at yours after that. Let me get this. Cue this up. Picture, please. Okay. Look what fun we're going to have. Come on. There we go. Look at that. You walk the plank onto the floating dock and you jump in. Yay! Let's see. Bond Camp was named for its former owner, James Bond, a noted ornithologist and author of a wonderful book called Native Birds of Mount Desert Island, and of course, inspiration for the name of the world's most famous fictional spy. Located on the quiet side of Mount Desert in Pretty Marsh, Bond Camp occupies a large, very private wooded parcel of 15 acres. And it has 785 feet of shoreline on Pretty Marsh Harbor. Woodland paths course through the Sylvan Woods, those like Sylvanian families. Okay, with granite outcroppings, a fenced garden, fragrant blooms, lush mossy areas amongst the natural pine needle paths. There are 4 separate cabins. 4 separate cabins. Please listen. With a total of 5 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. The property straddles the town lines of Mount Desert and Tremont, so it's centrally located to the various villages on the island, or on an island. The main cabin with a full kitchen, a half bath, and a vaulted open living room with a rustic granite boulder fireplace is perfect for large gatherings or a quiet evening. The main cabin has a wonderful deck near the water's edge with cedar bark clad railings enhancing the woodland motif. The seasonal cabins are meticulously styled and maintained. They have attractive decor, appliances, furnishings, all in all casual, elegant style to match the quiet woodland surroundings. Views from the Bond Camp are to the west of Pretty Marsh Harbor and out to Blue Hill Bay, with several picturesque spruce-clad islands. There's a deep water dock and moorings, granite outcroppings, gravel beach area complete the waterfront offering. It represents a family retreat or a compound, an unusually private location in an idyllic setting. Understated gardens and landscaping accent complement the residences, surrounded by natural but beautiful kept forest areas with woodland paths and mossy areas. Let's go see Camp Bond, that was built in 1950. Camp Bond. James Bond. James Bond. Okay, let's go look at this. All right, Binky? You're going down the plank, you're jumping in. Look at that. It looks like a movie, doesn't it? It looks like a movie. Black-eyed Susans, ferns, gravel paths. Look at that, nice, open, airy Mount Airy Lodge. Fireplace going. Interesting picture. I-61 says, heck yeah. Commercial stove. Look at that exhaust system there. Now look at that. Look at the walkways to the other cabins. Binky, your cabin's to the right. So here's the guest cabins. They have a little business. Look at that. Here's your cabin. It reminds me of this book. I think my teacher read it, but I think we had it too. And I remember there was a lady, and she always said she had a pink picnic hamper, and they were all at these cabins, and they were all spending the summer there. I wish I remember what that book was, and I think our teacher read it, and I think, look at that, very nice, right? Very clean. Here's all the rules. You've got your rules. Whenever a window opens. Okay. The paths. Here's another cabin. Little wood stove. Look at that. Lots of books for your guests to read. Look at that. I'm just going to sit and paint. Look, Binky. Look at the little nice place to sit and paint. And make shell people. And paint the flowers. And you're going to another cabin. Here's another cabin. Come on in. More paths. Got the kayaks over there. Till the bear comes around and messes up everything. Remember, that's 15 acres. See, that's all your acreage. Okay. Now, how much? Now is the part that you need to do. How much? $900K high? Oh, don't worry. Jimmy found a spider and he said it was a good house spider and he let it go in the house. Don't worry about it. $3.5 million for murder of crows. $12.5 million. $1 million. $1.5. Well, it's actually $4.2 million. 4.2. Okay, now I'm going to take you to the other place, the Cape in Vermont, since we had a vote for that too, but it came in later. Let me get that. Okay. This is going to be on a little over 10 acres. It's a Cape up in Vermont with a little over 10 acres. All right. And I'll tell you about it. It was built in 1890. It's a picturesque 1890 Cape style cabin. It's located close to lakes, rivers, and mountains in one of Vermont's historic small towns. The cabin style home is full of charm. Features a nicely updated kitchen with a breakfast bar. It has beautiful finishes such as a built-in butcher block counter and stainless steel appliances. There are 2 large bedrooms upstairs with a convenient half bath and an additional storage area, and a master bedroom has an impressive walk-in closet. 3rd bedroom downstairs would make a fine home office or exercise room if you so desired. The downstairs bath has a nice modern tiled shower with glass doors. The home is heated by a well-maintained oil furnace, and for a touch of coziness, there is a propane stove. You could head out your back door and relax on the deck, perfect for barbecues or reading a book. Enjoy the large stone-lined fire pit for evening gatherings after a day of hiking, canoeing, snowshoeing, or skiing. Relax in your own hot tub with massaging jets. From the backyard, head right out on a trail through 10 acres of wooded land, comprised of mixed of trees, including maples, birches, and pines. Trail will lead you through the forest where a vast amount of wildlife thrive, including deer, fox, and turkeys, a large variety of birds, and even an occasional bear or moose. There is a garage that can be used for storage, a workshop, or a studio. Since you have a carport to shelter 2 cars, even more storage areas available in the basement. Tend to the vegetable garden as you listen to the babbling brook that runs through the property. Less than a mile away is Joe's Pond, a top destination for all types of recreation like swimming, boating, and fishing. There's easy access to the nearby rail trail for hiking, all types of recreation. Snowmobiling, biking, located on a town-maintained road. It offers privacy, convenience, and so much more of what makes Vermont's Northeast Kingdom unique. Let's look at this. Scary. Scary. I don't like knives like that, out like that. I just don't like that. But TV is down so low. That's an interesting bathroom. Little mud room. Wow, they could have spiffed this up a little bit, huh? Attic space. There's the deck. Very rustic. There's some kayaks. There's the fire pit. $10 acres. Okay. What do you think? 10 acres, guys. What do you think on that one? Let's see if you get this one right. Okay. Three bedrooms. 3 bedrooms, Bink. Murder of Crow says 200K. High says 100K. Too scary for me, says Bink. Just just. She says 50,000. Come on, Bink, 50,000. Oh my goodness. It's 10 acres in Vermont. I really don't care that you wouldn't want it. You're just supposed to put what you think it's worth. Not to you, but in general. Oh my goodness, Binky. Okay, I'm just going to put the price. $349. $349, and now we play the word game. $349, 9999, $349, 999. Okay. Whatevers. Shoot, now look what I just did, Bink. Great. I just totally... Whatevers. Daily puzzle. Murder of Crow says, I know nothing about real estate in America. I just put what I would pay. Me too, it's just me. That's okay. Saw. Jaw. Jig. Jigsaw. Jigsaws. And jigsaw. And saws. And jigs. And jaws. And gas. Right? And wig. I feel like this is Sesame Street. Wigs. Wig. Wag. Wags. Jag. Jags. Okay. And sag. Sags. Was. This is pretty easy, right? My goodness. What number is this puzzle? Oh, this is the daily. Swigs. No? Swig? No. Swags. Swags. Yeah, we got that at the same time. You said, oh, that's bad words. No, I'm joking. It's bad words. Bad words, bad words, bad words. Congo. Come on, baby, do the Congo. Oh, that was a guy got mooning, but it said no. It said no, not getting it, you're getting that extra word. I already have coming. Neon. No, there's no E. I already tried goon. Oh, icon. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, well, I'm going to, Binky, open up a new Zoom. Do that. The other one is going to end. That is for sure. For sure. I'm going to start it. And we're going to get the invite here. And we're going to see what's going on in here. New Zoom review is coming straight for you. Okay, I bet you Linda's electricity is out. She was not going to be brave and call in and see how long until it goes out. Scooter's got a job now. Binky, Scooter and her job. Coming straight for you. Okay. Let me go over here and okay. Let me see. Got to get back to you guys here. All right, let's see if you got anything here. All right. Come into the Zooms. Binky, I need to talk to you. All right, guys. I love you. God bless. Prayers. Be good. Keep Lucky in your prayers. All right. And we'll see you tomorrow. Be good. Let me see where you are. I've got to find you. I've got to find you. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are. I have to go find you somewhere to shut this down. My goodness. Oh, this is so crazy. Okay, alive. I gotta go through here to shut you down. All right. Everybody have a good night.